And Priyank.
Yes, sir.
Say good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Bolo, good morning. Good. Rishabh. Smriti ne to bol diya.
Good morning, sir.
Good, good. Very good. Very good. How are you doing? Good? All good?
Yes, sir.
कॉलेज कब से आ रहे हो?
सर अभी तो मेरे को लगता नहीं मैं आ पाऊंगा एटलीस्ट जब तक सर मैं जामनगर
ओके
तो सर अभी टाउनशिप अभी लॉकडाउन पे ही है सर तो अभी पॉसिबल तो है नहीं
तुम रिलायंस टाउनशिप में हो?
यस सर
ओके ठीक है चलो जब अच्छा हो मतलब ठीक ठाक हो जाए तो आ जाओ मिलते हैं एक बार कितना ऑनलाइन देखोगे देखा भी नहीं होगा ना हम एक दूसरे को देखे भी नहीं आना चाहिए ना
यस सर
ओके ओके चलो 18 have joined but you guys few of you are really lazy I think they join very late so we'll start in 2 minutes In this session, we will discuss how packets flow from client to server. Compared to our earlier discussion, we will go a bit deeper in technical aspects and we will try to figure out the role of network layers and protocols in data transmission. We consider a similar scenario as discussed earlier to examine the flow of data. This time, some network information in the end user system like IP address, DNS, default router, etc. are included in the discussion. Please have a look at the diagram given here. The same network as we use to discuss our internal backbone and international backbone is reconsidered here. The national backbone and the local area network is considered as Marwari University. This diagram we have seen earlier. We also assume that the same internet connectivity where the end user is connected to MU network or MU local area network and assume that he or she wants to browse the IIT Delhi website this time. The URL of the website is home.iitd.ac.in. Here we have the same structure, the national backbone of India as per the diagram of VSNL ARNet project. Also, we are using SMW4 undersea cable to deliver data to the international backbone. And the connection is established between Marwari University and Rajkot through OFC cable. Then from Rajkot, it goes to Gandhinagar. Then accordingly, the rest of the things as we have discussed earlier. This time, a bit detailed technical information we have shown here. It shows the various information required to connect a device to the network and to make it capable of exchanging information with the other devices across the globe. These settings are done by the system administrator and most vital information are DR address, that is default router address, DNS address, etc. Please keep it in mind, without this setting or without setting these IP addresses to all the devices in the network and the end device, the end user will not be able to exchange information with other devices in the network. So in following few slides, we will see how these informations like IP addresses or DNS address or default router address is configured in a system. We'll briefly look at it and then we'll proceed to examine the rest of the things. Most important thing here, first, this IP address. An IP address, this is, let us say this is the end user who wants to send the information to a node located in IIT Delhi. Suppose that this is node D, and S has the IP address 192.168.16.204. Source node S is connected to the Marwari University local area network. and this is the default router or the router located in university local area network. This is a wired connection, preferably connected using UTP cable, UTP. And the address of this router is 192.168.16.3. Please make a note here. This router DR has two connections. This connection is for the local area network. This connection is for wide area network. Or simply you can say this connection makes it enable to connect to the internet. The addresses assigned to all the devices 192.168.16, these are called private addresses. These are 192.168. These are called these to 16.204 and 16.3. These are called private addresses. However, the IP address assigned to the second connection, this is connection 1 of the router, this is connection 2 of the router. The address assigned to the second connection, this is a public address. Public address. The meaning of private and public addresses may be explained as with these IP addresses, private addresses, we cannot access internet. But with public addresses, we can access IP in internet, or we can communicate with other nodes in the network. This is the most important thing to be considered while configuring a computer network. To make it more clear, every router must be connected to the local area network as well as the internet. In order to do that, it must have to have two connection point, which is called network interface card. That is, the router should at least have two network interface cards, and IP addresses, number of IP addresses equals to number of network interface cards connected to the device. And for this network interface card, since it is connected to the internet, should have one public address, public IP address, and the internal network or the IP connected to the internal network or the local area network should have a private IP address. So it is applied to the router located at Marwari University campus. That's why it has two IP addresses. One is the private IP address 192.168.16.3, and another is 119.160.199.92. This is a private address and this is a public address. Later on, we will see how can we extract this private and public address assigned to a device. Also, we will see how to extract or how to find out the default router of a local area network. Is there any query so far? Okay, Raj is telling no. Anyone else? Smriti said no. And I expect at this point of time, you know what is IP address and how this IP address is assigned to the laptop that you are connecting. Also, you might remember that when you came to Marwari University for the first time, you went to ICT department, right? And you have registered your laptop so that you can connect to the internet. And they have assigned you some IP address, one gateway address, and the DNS services, DNS addresses. These all things are assigned to you, and then only you are allowed to get connected to the internet. Okay, so these things, if you know these things, and if you can relate all the things that is been integrated to your device, basically the laptop or the desktop, you will better understand the concept of networking. So if you have no questions, then we can proceed further to next part of this discussion.
Sir, you are not audible.
Communicate to D. So it has to find the IP address of. I was not audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's start from the previous one. So as discussed, the most important point here or important information here is the IP address of the source. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because source node as having IP address is very important. Having IP address 192 168.16.204 wanted to communicate to the node D having URL home.iit Delhi ac.iitdac.in. However, with the URL, this is human readable form of a node. With the given URL, the node S cannot communicate to D. So it has to find the IP address of D or the IP address that represents this website, iitdac.in. So it needs to send a query to the DNS server. The name of the IP address of the DNS server is 119.160.192.2. How do we know all this information? First of all, suppose I wanted to see the IP address, the important information that I should have, the node should have, is the IP address of its own. Second one, IP address of the default router. Third one, most important, is IP address of the DNS. Fourth one, IP address of the URL. How to check it? All the information, this one, these three information are set by the administrator. This URL is known to you. Since we need the IP address, since node S needs the IP address, that's why the IP address of the respective URL will be found out by the DNS. So that's the importance of this one. Once again, let me tell you, IP address is required to identify the node itself. Identify the node itself. This is identification. Default router is required to send a packet to the internet. DNS is required to find the IP address of the URL, converting URL into IP addresses. Let's see how can we extract this information. In order to detect this information, what we need to do, we have to find the network configuration of a node. There are several methods of finding the network information, network card settings in different operating systems. As far as Linux or Mac operating system is concerned, we can have some command line utilities or commands, few network commands, commands we have to find out all the information. And we also do have the GUI interface. In MacBook, you can find out the network settings. Then from the network settings, you can go to the respective network card, settings of network cards. From the network settings of the network card, we can find out the respective information. Say, this is I don't want to show you. This is the IP address of my system. Then this one is the default router, address of the default router. And these are the DNS1, DNS2. The job of the DNS is to convert the URL into IP address. In order to do that, the source node S will send one query to the DNS. There are a number of different DNSs available. This is DNS 2, this is DNS1. This address is 192.2. This is .3. First, it will send a request to this DNS. If it fails to find out, then it will send a DNS to this. That way, it will get back the URL of the destination D, in this case, iitd.ac.in. And with that information, it will perform the rest of the operation. Again, the other information means the other method, basically the other method to extract this information. Maybe you may use this information from the command prompt. If you type the command ifconfig -a in either in Linux or in Mac operating systems or Linux, you will have some information like this. You need to know which one is your network interface. This is my network interface. It gives the IP address here. It gives the IP address here. But I'm hiding it. I don't want to show you my IP address to you. This is another method of finding the IP address of a node. The next important, after finding the IP address, next important information that we want to have is the external IP address. If you go back to the previous diagram here, I have said that we have one internal IP address that we can have it from. We have one internal IP address. We can get it from the IF or ipconfig command. Now we wanted to find the external IP of my network. The external IP, basically the external IP of the default router. If I want to know that, we can make use of the Google. And in Google, if you type, what is my IP? If you type, what is my IP, then you will get one IP address. This IP address, 119.160, 119 and 92. This is called external IP. External IP. Moreover, you can also make use of the NSLOOKUP command. NSLOOKUP command. These are very important commands that is required to troubleshoot your system sometimes. NSLOOKUP, if I write NSLOOKUP, I wanted to see the IP address of the URL. This is the URL. I wanted to see the IP address. So if I say NSLOOKUP, then it will display you two things. One is the name of the DNS that is being used. And the second one is the IP address of the destination. This is IP of the destination. IP of the destination. These are more very important information that we need in order to process the packet. So consequently, what we can do with this information that we have in our hand, we can proceed further. First, okay, at this point, it would be good if you practice these commands in your system. How many of you are connecting to the session using laptop? Okay, Raz is connecting. Okay, many of you. That's really great. Smriti also, Darshan. Okay, it's okay. Raz is connecting from mobile. Okay. There are many Raz. So what you do, any one of you, who will do? Two Raz. Rishabh is also in laptop. Do one thing. Take these commands. Number one, if you are using, Rishabh, are you using Windows or Mac operating system? Windows. Then you write down first ipconfig /all, this command, or simply ipconfig. Run this command first. Okay, Ubuntu, if it is Ubuntu, this is in Windows, or if it is in Ubuntu in Linux, I mean VMware also, it is fine. Then you can ifconfig. You can run this command. You type these commands, then display the screen, present your screen. We'll see, and then we will discuss few things.
IP config कर दिया sir.
ipconfig, can you show the screen to us? Present.
Yes sir.
So I will stop presentation. Then you can show. Yeah, please go ahead. Yes, it's coming slowly. Yeah, good. But can you make it a bit bigger? Yes. See here, IP address you are getting, default router you are getting. So I hope you are connecting using some Wi-Fi hotspot, that is mobile hotspot, right? That's why it's coming this way.
No sir, it is my broadband.
Oh, okay, it's broadband. Then 192.168.0.1, that is your, and type, it's good, then it's really good. Then you type, go to this one, what to say, Google, and write down what is my IP. Type what is my IP. See, 43, 36, 72, 27. This is your external IP, right? And
yes sir.
What was the internal IP? 192.168.0.102.
Yes sir.
Okay. So these are, and rest you type ns lookup www home.ns lookup in the command prompt. Yes, you can find ns lookup. Ns lookup is unknown address one. Okay, so again type ns lookup space. No, simply write here. No, not necessary. Just write down the URL of www home.iitd.ac.in. Home.
www.
Not required. That is not required.
Okay.
Home.iitd.ac.in. Check it. Yes. Okay. 103.27.9.24. That means your 192.168.0.1, that is working as a gateway as well as DNS. I think this has been set up by the internet service provider. This is a default router, and these information are available in your this router itself. Okay.
Yes sir.
So can you open the Linux Ubuntu? Can you open it? Ubuntu.
Sir, I have already opened it. It will
Open
take
on
time.
terminal. Open on terminal.
Sir, Raj will do it, sir. I'll stop sharing then.
Okay. Do. Yeah. Yes. Raj, you do it. You share it.
So tell me when it's visible.
Yeah, it's coming slowly. Good, it's coming. Okay, you write down this cat cat backslash space backslash etc.
Sorry, sir.
etc backslash res. Press the tab button. Press enter.
Again.
I think it is. Is it? Can you browse it from your internet? This VirtualBox. Go to open Firefox. Open Firefox and type what is my IP.
Yes, sir.
By that time you can type ifconfig.
So I have performed here.
Again try once more. This is no. Once again. Okay. So Google, is it opening?
Yes, sir. It is open now.
It is open, right? Can you browse something? What is my IP? Type what is my IP. What is my IP? Enter. Something is coming. Yeah, wait, something will come. Yes, this is for 49, 34, 127, 112. Great. Okay. You write down S. Okay, it is, what is the IP address here? What is the IP address given here? 10.0.2. It is again private address. It's fine. INET. And ls, write down ls PCI, ls space PCI, enter. I think not separate, together, ls PCI, one word. LSPCI, type LSPCI. Okay. Where is the Ethernet controller? This one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one. Fifth one is Ethernet controller. That is your network interface card, right? That is your.
This
yes.
one.
Yes, this one is Intel, and it is which company is this one? Intel 8250 OEM. Okay, fine. Now write down LS USB. Similarly, LS USB. Enter. Okay, it's fine, and type this result down here. You write down SCUT, SCUTIL.
IL.
Yeah, SCUTIL. Enter, press enter. Let's see, is something coming? No.
Sir, it's SUT, or sir, these are the commands.
No. This command is not there. There's SCUT, that is there. Leave it. These commands, no, sutil, it's not for that one. I was looking for a different command. Anyways, leave it. Okay, so if we see, then your external IP, your internal IP is, can you note down the internal IP? 10.0. What? 10. It is in virtual box, right? 10.0.2.5, 0.2.15. And your external IP, check the external IP. Google, you write down in the Google, what is my IP? You have opened that page. Okay, 43. Let me.
49, sir.
49.34.127.112, right? Okay, so good. So now you open one tab in Windows.
Here.
Yeah, just come out of this, open here. Yeah, Google, open the Google page, write down the same command. What is my IP? And okay, so it's coming in a different way. You're connecting from your
mobile hotspot.
That's why it will not give you in, but it is coming from this one. Okay, do one thing. You open Rob text, open one new tab, write down Rob, ROBTEX.com. Press enter. Okay, you type this in host name. You type down your 49.34.127.112. 34.127.112. That is your external IP. Go, click in go button. Okay, so go down. There will be one who is information. Who is, go down. Wait a minute here. Go up.
Yes.
Okay, this is records. It is located in India, somewhere in India, and Reliance Jio, that is the company who owns this IP address. So your connection is Jio connection, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So go down. Go down. More. There is one who is information. Yes. Here you have to log in, but if you log in, then you will get this information. So these utilities, what it will do, these utilities, you can figure out to which router or where, what type of router or where the router is located that you are getting the connection, right? So this information, again, you go to a command prompt of your Windows machine. Command prompt your Windows machine, run as administrator. Yeah, good. Go ahead. Type here trace route, TRACE ROU, tab, use tab key.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You delete this root command, root part, go close, delete the space, press tab.
Only trace.
Yeah, no, address, then press the tab key. Okay, trace root, no, it's not. You write down trace, ROUTE, delete this part.
Sir, with together or with space?
Same, together, press enter. Is it available? Trace RT.
Sir, trace RT is the command, yes, sir.
It is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you write down trace root, trace RT, space, space, home.iitd.ac.in.
Home dot
IIT Delhi dot AC dot in. Enter. Okay, just wait for some time. Just wait for a while. Then you can press Control C. First one, it is going to 192.168.43.1. That is your default router. Next, it goes to second point. It goes to, I think it should come in the range of 4934. Request timed out. Internet might be slow. That's why. Wait for some time. Let's see. Your internet might be slow. That's why 42 milliseconds means it is definitely somewhere to, it will direct that request to 4934 series. So these are few commands you can track how your data passes in the network, how many, these are called hops, right? This is the first is your default router, second is your next level router, third one is your next higher level, that is internet connected to the internet core network that I have talked about in the national backbone. So that way you can check, right, these commands, and in the next session you will get one assignment in order to complete all the information of your system. Everyone have to submit that, because this essential information, if you do not know the base concept, how practically it works, it is really no use of studying this computer networks course. That's why I will emphasize in my session, I will emphasize on more practical things rather than theoretical part. Theory will be covered in all other sessions, but in my, I will try to give you some information how you can relate your networking, practical networking concept to the theoretical part, right?
yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
you can,
we
yes.
have
Yeah, please.
done this practical in lab.
So you forget about lab. We can do practical from anywhere. No matter you are in laboratory, you are in college, you are in house. If you, only thing required is your interest and your involvement. If you are really interested and you get yourself involved, I promise you that I will teach you the practical things of computer networks in such a way that you will be able to flourish in this area. I can assure that. But interest I cannot give you. It's my interest, I'll keep it with me. If you want to learn, then you develop the interest of your own. Am I
Yes.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you are interested, and lot many things are there to do. I already told you, see, 10.71.57.130, that is again local area network. I think it is looping back. 10 series 192, no, there is a problem. It's looping back. See, it is going, see, this is called routing loop. This is called routing. 192.168.38.25, 255, 254. These are all local addresses. Your packet is stuck somewhere, and that's why any IP address which is starting with 192.168 or 10 or 172, these are all private addresses. With that, it cannot go outside. It's looping back. It is looping. This is called one kind of example of routing, and it will come in at after 64 or 32 number of hops. No, or maximum 30 hops. After 30, it will crash. Can you see,
Yes.
over a maximum 30 hops? After 30, it will crash, because here it's end of this 30. And this is called TTL, time to leave, that you will find in IP protocol, IP header. but it's going out now. 115 is a public address. It's going out. It's going out.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so these are the things that you can observe. You can observe him from anywhere. No need to. No, there is no necessary. It's not necessary that your teacher will tell to do. You experiment of your own, and you will learn a lot of things. Okay, you unpresent yourself. Let me continue.
Yes, sir.
And we will learn more if you come to the campus or you meet me personally. We will discuss outside this lecture. Those who are interested can join us. We don't mind to have a collaborative work or group work. And I might have told you that you can study the structure of the undersea cable. If you can write a paper, I will manage it to publish somewhere in the conference. It's a really good concept and good topic to discuss upon. And moreover, you will get citation. People will refer. There is very less work available in the internet as a paper or a white paper regarding this backbone network, right? Mainly the undersea cable. Yeah, hope a bit clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Anyways, do one thing. Give me your enrollment numbers. We'll continue in the next session, and all are hereby informed to practice all these commands. In the next session, we will have one assignment. You have to fill one form, and those that form will will ask for the information regarding your system, and also the distance to any nearby server like IIT Delhi or maybe IIT Gandhinagar, and you can track it using you can track it using your traceroute command or some other commands that I have shown, and you can explore some other commands as well. Okay. Tushar. Tushar. Tushar, are you there? He left.
Excuse me, sir.
Tushar, you are there? Hello? Hello?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Tell me.
Sir, my chat box is not working. I can't write my roll number.
Tell me your roll number.
AI7, sir.
AI7. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, fine. Hey, who is Harshvardhan? Who is he? Harshvardhan? Harshvardhan? Can you hear me? Harshvardhan?